Well, something's happening. There we go. What is happening, people? Music lovers, how are you? It is The Drop. I'm Ruben Dominguez. This is Quinn Bishop. We're at Cactus Music World headquarters. It's starting to feel a lot like Christmas.
It's starting to feel a lot like Christmas.
It's starting to feel a lot like Christmas.
And there's a lot of rocking.
There's a lot of rocking. We're going to rock the bells.
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Tons of great releases teed up for the holiday
season. Do you have a list?
I have it.
This is how the professionals do it.
Come on. You think we're just winging it?
No.
No way.
No. No Kip winging it here.
No. Hey, let's get going today.
Please.
Let's talk about an emerging artist that people need to know about.
Let's do it.
This is Steve Lacy. His album Gemini Rights is on the racks. Big singles, Mercury.
Yeah, big single.
Bad Habit, Sunshine.
Getting a lot of play on the Sirius XM.
And cool record. This is it's. I don't know what it is. It's like
rock, exactly.
It's jazz. It's psychedelic. There's all elements of all. That's why I love it. There's elements of all kinds of different stuff in there, and that's why it's resonating with people. His last record was absolutely huge and still sells like it. And that's ideally as an artist, if you can release a new album while your previous record is like
it's still
hitting the charts.
Yeah. That's a good sign.
It is money.
I like where this is going, and I'm with you on this one.
I guess ultimately it's like alt R&B that you keep hearing that term. I think it's a bucket that people just throw stuff in because they don't know how.
There's a little, I don't know. It's like alternative in there. It's good.
It's cool.
It's
great music. You need to hear this guy.
Get it.
And catch up to him real quick.
Get it.
And I think this is one of the biggest, most important follow-up albums of the year. This is Ari Lennox. This is Age, Sex, and Location. Had a huge record with the Shea Butter Baby in 2019. Huge. That song was monstrous. This
Everywhere.
is the follow-up. Her thoughts on dating and relationships and stuff like that.
Observations.
You get big track is has Summer Walker on it, who's also emerging artist who's big, and Lucky Day.
Yep, got a feature from Chloe. Really cool.
Yeah, this thing's good. This thing's really gonna blow up.
Yep,
so we're
good
leaving
call
it
on
with
this
two big records.
Good call on that one.
Now for something very different, Wise Blood, who is we've talked about her several times.
Yes, we have
on the Drop. Again, an artist that you're going to be hearing more and more about. Her last record, Titanic. It's again a 2019 record. Kind of became a soundtrack for a lot of people during the pandemic, and this is the follow-up to it. We have the Loser Edition colored vinyl that you can only get directly from Sub Pop. What color we got?
A limited edition first pressing on colored vinyl.
Tell ya.
I'm going to guess purple.
I would
got this.
I would bet
purpley thing happening. I like it.
So the interesting thing about this artist, traditionally, I think we're pretty much regarded as a indie rock artist. This is full-blown 70s singer-songwriter, Leonard Cohen, Laura Nero.
Which is an interesting signing for Sub Pop.
Yeah, but I mean, she started kind of gothy and kind of made this turn towards this. I'm just
Makes
kind
sense.
of amazed that this kind of music is really resonating with young people. I think that I'm asked all the time by customers that are of a certain age, like, oh, what's something new that I can really dig like this?
This is it.
This should grab you. This is,
All right.
and she's tremendously talented. You know, really, I think she ended up on a lot of people's, in a lot of people's queue of listening to music because of her association with Lana Del Rey. She's all over one of the Lana Del Rey records, and that kind of put her over. But this is going to be a big record for the holidays too.
Excellent.
In the hip hop realm, we have Michi Darko, Gothic Luxury. And can you tell me a little bit about this cover?
It is embossed, so that means you feel the raised, font of the graphic. Just kind of, I just like saying embossed. So
I know, it's such a great word. Yeah. And so
I don't know this artist.
So he is a third of the Flatbush Zombies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
So and really celebrated for his unique and kind of personal lyrical content in his rap. His debut solo.
So I was about to say, debut solo album.
Solo.
It's a cool looking album. I like the art direction on it. What do we have here? Limited edition, clear smoke vinyl, people.
Kind of looks like the cover of it.
Right? Smoky.
Great cover art. Yeah. So right now we're at some LPs coming later, but here's some CD releases. This is the brand new Kid Cudi Intergalactic CD. This guy is really on a roll. Every record is huge. Catalog sales dramatic.
Saw him live years ago.
Oh, did you? How was that?
It's good.
This is his 8th record. I kind of forget that he's made this many records. 8th solo record. So this is released in conjunction with a Netflix special. It's music inspired by the Netflix special, which he's involved with. And I think sometimes those type of projects can be a little stopgap and a little unpredictable, but this guy's so creative with whatever he's doing, and I think he can put it over. Should be good.
All right, cool.
You know what's way better?
Tell me.
Than Old Gravy?
Young Gravy?
Young Gravy.
It's a little Thanksgiving humor.
It is.
It's a little Thanksgiving humor, man.
Thanksgiving humor.
Yeah.
Young Gravy. Now, if you don't think you know Young Gravy, you do, because he's the guy. Every time you hear that reimagining of "Never Gonna Let You Go, Never Gonna Give You Up" by Rick Astley, that is Young Gravy. It's another couple of big hits on this record. He's a multi-platinum. What's the tune? Betty Get Money.
Yeah,
is another hit on there. Totally ridiculous hip hop sensation. This is his 3rd release, and if you buy the record from us, we have autographed copies, and on the inside you get this Young Gravy autograph. Great gift for Christmas. Great stocking stuffer. And you know what? Hip hop has really made a comeback on CD.
Right on.
I think because all the content fits on a CD versus it spans into 2 records, and it gets expensive.
Right.
But people want to support the artist, and so let's see, it's a good thing. The cover art is great.
The cover, it's the cover art is great. It's very burlesque. It's very, I don't know if they're going for like an older kind of maybe like Rat Pack vibe or Vegas vibe. But I love that it says a marvelous batch of fresh gravy.
And who doesn't need fresh gravy?
Well, you guys, I mean, for those of you guys watching the show, if you watch with any regularity, you'd be amazed at the conversations that happened before and after, because we had a very serious discussion about mushroom gravy recipes before this happened.
So, great gravy, word for the day.
Aren't you glad you know that?
Gravy, yeah. That's
all right.
People always want to know what's going on behind the scenes. And
all sorts of
moving right along.
The drop is full service. We bring it all.
Moving right along. Brockhampton, boy band who I guess just, they announced at Coachella, it's like they were disbanding, with their Coachella performance. But this is, I believe, their seventh album. I mean, we saw a lot of those records. I mean, it's kind of, people think that the boy band thing is not really happening anymore.
Oh, it's happening.
It's happening. I'm telling you right now, it's happening. It's not all, not all just K-pop stuff. Brockhampton. So this is new and on the racks.
Cool.
We get folkier and rootsier here. We got some earthy rootsy music, and this is a very cool record. I love this record. I'm not a huge Abbott Brothers fan, but I'm down with what they're doing. And this is the Seth Abbott solo record, and this is Seth Abbott sings Greg Brown. Can you see how? Can you see the luster and the goldiness of this fantastic
record? Is it embossed?
It is embossed. Who doesn't want an embossed record?
You get extra feel.
So what I love about this project, every great singer-songwriter at some point has done a tribute or songs to raise the profile or recontextualize an artist that they love. And Greg Brown, for those that don't know, he's fiercely independent singer-songwriter from Iowa, self-released all his records going back into the 70s and has formed his own little record label and Red House Records, and really has been independent his 40-year career.
So if you're a fan of the Americana of this style, singer-songwriter, rootsy, so he's the artist that you love, the artist they love.
Yeah, it's such a cool thing. Now, the thing about Greg Brown, he has this really, really, really low voice. I couldn't even get that low.
Bass.
Really low voice, and has an amazing guitar player, Bo Ramsey, who's been with him his whole career.
Wow. And check some of that out. Now I'm interested.
Big song. He leads with the big song here, the Poet Game. But I just love it when artists are trying to introduce their fans to the music that they love, and that's what this is. It's a great thing. It's paying it forward. It's ultimately
on the Abbott Brothers. We were talking earlier. I'm a tracks guy for them.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. I'm not going to put on one of their albums and just go coast to coast on it, but I always something will pop up, and like in the past I've Shazammed them, like, oh, the Abbott Brothers. And
whenever I hear a song from them in a mix, I love it.
What was the first song you heard by them and you were like, oh, who are these guys?
Well, we
and I'm going to get the name wrong, but I'll tell you what mine was.
For us, it was that Emotionalism EP, the Gleam. One of those EPs came out, and we had an employee that was a fan and kept playing it in the store, and we all ended up, and it was kind of perfect because it was only 5 songs, which is kind of, I think, the sweet spot with them, because it just kind of runs a little long for me. What's the?
I'm usually late to everything, but for me, it was I had somebody gave me a sampler, and it had a kick drum part on it.
Oh, sure, that song's. I mean, that's like the song.
And I was like, who are these guys?
Yeah, that is a great.
The lyrics are great. Music's great. It's a simple song, but it's just got something to it.
Yeah.
It's just got something.
I'm with it. Cool.
They
band.
set the hook.
And man, they're doing the right thing by giving the thumbs up.
And bringing the people that inspired them along.
And oh man, are you in the Segway business? Because
yes,
you
I
just
am.
Say what you just said again.
What did I say? That's gone.
You were talking about how they're
bringing up the people that
inspired
them.
Yeah. Well, we have the new album from Billy Strings, and his lifelong goal is to make a record with his dad, who inspired him.
Wow.
Taught him how to play guitar.
Wow.
It's an archival photo from their house with the young Billy Strings and his dad on it. So this is the two of them collaborating on a new album. I'm sure it's spectacular because Billy Strings can play his ass off.
I would like to take a minute and thank his dad for doing a great job teaching that kid, because man,
no doubt.
He can just tear the leather off a ball.
Yeah, an indie store exclusive colored vinyl, and as with a bunch of these talking about, sometimes
great,
I forget to mention that. But yeah,
he was coming.
Passion project.
He was coming. I think he was going to play like last concert or something, and they called. It was right before COVID. They're like, "Hey, do you want to interview Billy Strings or Mucky Duck or something?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." And like 2 weeks later was the pandemic. Yeah. Damn. So I never got to interview him or see the show.
Wham, bam.
Pandemic. Just an incredible talent. And speaking of guys that can just absolutely just annihilate it on a steel guitar, there's a totally random. I'm talking about a segue. I saw it last night. Sammy Hagar is doing the thing like he does, because that guy never stops playing. Love him, hate him, don't care for him, whatever. I happen to be a Sammy fan.
He's a busy guy.
So they were doing an acoustic version of what's the Van Halen song, Baby Come On, Finish What You Started. Come on, baby. So they bring up John Mayer, who's on acoustic. Sammy's on plugged into an electric, but he's not really running it. Tommy Lee's playing drums, with like the brushes, or the little sticks that I can't remember what you call those little practice sticks.
Like wicket sticks.
Yeah, those little sticks.
Splintered.
And they go into it. Freaking John Mayer rips the entire Van Halen solo on an acoustic guitar, like perfectly.
Not surprising in the least.
Anyway, there you go. Whether you wanted to hear that or not, I'm so sorry.
That's
this
good.
is cool because I have interviewed her.
Have you really?
Absolutely.
She's cool. So this artist, when she emerged, like came out of
12
nowhere,
years ago.
everybody was like, why does everybody want this classical record? We were trying to figure it out. Well, there's Lindsey Sterling, who's amazing.
Yeah, little bitty
And
things,
little bitty
like 3
thing,
feet tall,
super talented,
sweet, and can just kill.
can kill it. And I'll tell you what's cool. One of those artists that again made classical or classical leaning music relevant for young people. It was
not
awesome.
only that. I mean, we booked her to do a very early Fox Rocks when we used to have music live on television. She came in the studio, it was her and her violin. Ladies and gentlemen, Lindsey Sterling. But there's also kind of like a dance that goes along with her performance. I mean, just like totally focused into this genre of music that she plays. And I want to say like the thing that like blew her up is like I think she ended up on a video game soundtrack or something. Like one of the Final Fantasies or something.
And then all
like
the
that.
pieces. It's one of those things where everything was as perfect as can be and about to happen, and then that happens like boom.
Yeah, she is. Just, I mean, I don't know the music on here. I mean, obviously,
it's all Christmas
music, but I haven't heard her perform this. But I've heard her do other things. It's like literally, it's a crossover kind of violin thing. She's not playing concertos or anything like that. But I mean, just a wildly talented player.
Yeah, and this is on Snowball Green vinyl. And let me just tell you what the conversation that probably happened in the Universal offices with management. That's like, that Christmas album you did a couple years ago. That thing was monstrously huge. What do you think about
again?
Another Christmas album?
Yeah,
that's how we get to Snow Waltz.
Yes, there you go. Good for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good for her. Go see her live if you ever get a chance.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk Texas.
Let's talk Texas.
We got a couple of great, very, very cool. These are great gifts for people when if they're CD fans. This is Joe Ely, who's been recording for 50 years or something like that. Lubbock, great, one of the Flatlanders. This is his first children's album.
Oh, this is cool.
Flatland Lullaby, and I love Joe. I think he's just like one of the best things that ever came out of Texas.
Troubadours, ambassadors of Texas music.
And you got Rock My Baby to Sleep, Wake Up Sunshine. I'm sure that this is a fun record.
I want to hear the Cats and the Rats.
The Cats and the Rats.
Sounds cool.
The Cats and the Rats.
Good for him. On 30 Tigers. We love 30 Tigers.
Yeah. Should be a great gift for anybody who's a Texas music fan and maybe has a kid
running
around the house or going to run around the house. Also, Austin blues royalty Angela Straley is back on her old Antone's label, which I think almost all of her records have come out on that label through New West. And she's a dynamic blues singer. You got quotes from these are the people singing her praises on the sticker here. I'm not going to read all of it, but Buddy Guy, Bonnie Raitt, Elvin Bishop, Maria Moldauer, and Charlie Musselwhite. That's good enough for me. She's great, and it's been a while since she's had a record.
I'm not familiar with any of those names.
You might want to try another program.
Yeah, I know.
So, Austin blues royalty, and I'm sure
Elvin Bishop shining up as well. Did you mention Elvin Bishop?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, obviously. We were just talking about Buddy Guy earlier before I got here.
Sweet.
Somebody asked me, goes, when did Buddy Guy die? I'm like,
that guy's like,
no.
That guy does more in a day than I'm probably doing a whole week. That guy is a monster. He's a monster. He's just tearing it up.
Yeah.
We had some classic rock for you by big names. Billy Joel live at Yankee Stadium. This is from 1990. This is an archival recording. It's on CD and Blu-ray or DVD.
It looks like it's a DVD,
you want.
Yeah.
It's got a film.
Brand new 4K re-edit of the concert.
And now he's doing this thing where
was this the MTV thing?
I don't know.
That there's, I think one of his live videos. You know how MTV would throw in like a live performance every now and then into the rotation. I think there was a famous one. I think it looks like this. It just looks like.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, 1990. And he famously.
I think it was Matter of Trust.
Oh yeah, he famously stopped recording new music because
Yeah.
he just is like, you know what, I'm done, and this is not what people want to hear from me.
Why? I mean, look at this list.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's written
Christ.
a big tune, and now he's doing this residency at Madison Square Garden where he plays like once a month or something like that and sells that out. That's pretty good.
That's pretty
Good
pretty
gig
work
if you're
you
that
can get
guy.
it. Yeah.
And we have a new one from the incredibly prolific. I'm a fan, and it's almost impossible for me to keep up with. This is Neil Young and Crazy Horse, his new album World Record. He got 10 new songs, and
I didn't even know he was putting this.
yeah.
This was coming.
He makes a lot of records, and of course a lot of them are archival releases. There's
Yeah.
probably 5 or 6 archival releases.
Yeah.
This is a brand new studio record produced by Rick Ruben. 10 songs.
Have you heard
it's
it?
really long form. I haven't heard a note yet.
Wow.
I'm really looking forward to, because I am a huge Neil Young fan. I have not really thought much of the recent studio records over the past like 10, 15 years, but the last one, Barn, I thought was exceptional. So I'm very excited to hear this.
Excellent.
Yeah. And you know,
It's Neil Young.
Rick's not going to have you mess with his seal of quality. Like you're going to have to bring it.
Yeah.
Now we do have an archival recording, and by that I mean it's not a reissue, even though it's an old record. This music has never been available before, and this is the Jimi Hendrix Experience at the Los Angeles Forum,
Dude.
April 26, 1969. You know, long form jamminess from these guys. You know, the greatest musicians of the 20th century. This is on and that's what is that? What is going on?
Is that embossed?
It's embossed.
It's embossed.
It's embossed.
Jesus.
It's a gold embossed numbered edition. So the first pressings of these are numbered. And
Oh, check this out. So Deluxe 2LP, as you said, never before released on vinyl, includes unseen photographs and an essay by ZZ Top's Billy F. Gibbons.
oh, who was there? I was just reading this thing that he was at that show, and it was like a earth shaking moment for him. Though I think they famously
Newly mixed by Eddie Kramer.
I think the Moving Sidewalks
Were on that tour.
yeah, and they because when Jimmy played here, I know that they opened for him. But yeah, I don't know where this stuff keeps coming from, but the fact that
Los Angeles Forum.
again we've talked several times on the drop. When we did the record sorting thing, we talked about the importance of having a sound engineer like the Dead had that recorded all their material.
stuff,
He had Eddie Kramer,
Yeah.
arguably the greatest sound engineer in the business, recording everything that he did. Opened his own studio. The guy was working constantly,
Yeah.
and that's why we have all this great stuff. So
Thank God.
should be a great listen. New album from Simple Minds.
What?
It's been a while. They do one every now and then, but this is their 19th album. And Jim Kerr and band is new, and this is indie store exclusive colored vinyl. It's orange, it's a transparent orange.
I love that.
And you know what they said? Don't you forget about me.
Yeah. Great. I love the artwork.
Yeah.
All right, there you go for you Simple Minds fans.
It's
a little something.
riding that 80s wave, which
Riding
doesn't
that
seem
80s
to
train.
slow down at
Riding
all.
that 80s train.
So it's funny because we were doing the drop a couple weeks ago, and this band's name came up. We were talking about Pavement. This band came up, and then there was a new record from them. It was like magic. Archers of Love, Reason and Decline. Angular.
Hard to describe.
Hard to describe. They're on Merge. This is their first album since 1998.
Yeah.
So
kind of a snarky pop kind of.
Yeah.
From
North Carolina,
Yeah.
indie. I always felt like they were closely associated with Pavement. I always
Oh,
felt
absolutely. Oh, yeah.
every
100%.
Pavement fan, every Archers of Love fan I knew was a Pavement fan, and that almost kind of dissonant, untuned.
Yes. Now you're on it.
Twin guitar
Yeah.
kind of doesn't work, but it works, and that's
Yeah.
why it works.
Kind of like just a beautiful sonic mess.
Yeah, and that's on limited edition red and purple swirl vinyl.
I love that.
All right, we got a little record. This is cool. This is really cool. I love it when multi-platinum superstar artists do things for independent record stores, which we get away with that with Record Store Day and
Right.
some releases throughout the year. But this is Chris Stapleton had never released a 7-inch, and he did one just
Until
this
now.
is only available at independent record stores, and it's him doing I'm a Ram, which is classic. I know the Al Green version. That's what I know.
Right.
and produced by Dave Cobb, who's and Dave actually plays electric guitar on it. But this is great. This is a great thing because he has fans. He has tons of mainstream fans, and this will drive his fans to independent record stores to seek them out all over the country to have a great record store experience. Thank you, Chris Stapleton.
Absolutely.
Very cool move.
Shout out.
We appreciate it.
That is fantastic. And anything in here? Do we cover all the details?
Yeah.
You
only get 2 songs on these little
I
records.
didn't want to make sure.
And that one you only get 1 because you get a live version and a regular version.
That's great. I like that. It's the old kind of almost 60s vibey.
Yeah, kind of like.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Let's talk about big, and by big I mean voluminous. I mean large. I mean a whole lot of stuff. I mean
something that has weight to
something
it.
that might
Like
this is and we get a good this is
there it is. Yeah.
Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion. I'm sure everybody remembers that they were one of the I think Bruce is the only person from that era that I could recall. Now people do it, but they released 2 albums at once.
Yeah.
Use Your Illusion came out. What anniversary is this? This is are they calling it anniversary edition?
I don't know what they're calling it.
I don't know.
They're calling it heavy.
There's a lot of stuff in this.
Limited edition super deluxe box set. So 7 CDs. There's Blu-ray. There's 97 total tracks, 63 unreleased tracks. First ever masters from original analog stereo tapes. Good God. And you get live shows. Live in New York, 91. Live in Vegas, 92. That's nuts.
And the box is cool. Now, I'm going to tell you, there's also an LP version of this, which we could not show it to you because it's the box set that's also a coffee table. And also there's a coffee table edition, which you can buy directly from them that is literally a piece of furniture that holds everything in it. For maybe more casual fans that don't have as much time to listen to Guns N' Roses, there's 2 CD editions that have the best of all the outtakes on them, as well as reissues of the LPs proper. And again, they supposedly sound great. First time they've really been remastered from the
So Blu-ray, from the Blu-ray Live in New York, track 8 is Voodoo Child, Slight Return. Then they go into Civil War. Track 9 is just drum solo. Track 10 is Slash solo. And then they go into You Could Be Mine.
I love it when drum solo gets its own track listing, its own number. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And for you GNR fans out there, or if you have that special GNR fan on your Christmas list, this is the one to get.
That is the one, because they don't have it.
They don't have it. It's here at Cactus Music. Come get it.
Yeah. So CD, I think there's 6 different editions of this thing, but we're showing you the CD, the big old CD.
This is a battleship anchor.
It is, yeah. Okay, we were talking about this record earlier today. This is the 40th anniversary reissue of Kiss's Creatures of the Night. If you come by Cactus, you can see a floor-to-ceiling
giant poster,
banner in our window of this release. You know, this is really a watershed record for this band. This is a fan favorite. Fans love this record because it followed, a couple of disco, a couple of pop records. They completely avoided their hard rock roots, and then they kind of returned to it with this. But check out the benchmarks with this. I didn't know this till I read. This was the last album in Makeup until they reunited with Makeup.
Right.
This is the last record to feature Ace.
Right.
This is the last record for Casablanca. And this is the last record made when Neil Bogart was running the label. And then they leave the label. It's kind of a big turning point for the band. I don't think it's a big secret out there that a lot of the Kiss guys did not play on their records. So we're showing you the small 2-disc that has a bonus disc with tons of extra tracks and outtakes. There is a giant box set, which will arrive at any moment, that has 75 unreleased tracks featuring all the other guitar players that played on the record, because they were trying to finish this record. They brought in tons of studio musicians,
right?
And they only used
So Ace was on his way out. Bruce Kulick was already doing some recording with the band, I believe, and they were using like session guys.
There's a bunch of guys. That Robin Ford's on it, and
Robin Ford's on
that. And
is that real?
Yeah. And we were talking about how cool
Shelby.
Special guest.
What's up?
Oh, we are.
Yeah, we're streaming.
We're streaming.
Yeah. Stick around. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, what's up?
Special
Luke?
guest.
This is
This is our
Shelby
first
Rose.
guest.
Hello.
Shelby, what are you
Yes.
shopping for?
We're getting a Christmas vinyl.
Oh, you are getting Christmas vinyl of actually Christmas music. May I suggest
Yes.
Lindsey Sterling's new record? There you go. Get that one.
Okay.
You're gonna love that.
Because we're Christmas decorating
I know
this
you're
afternoon.
I know you're Christmas decorating. You know.
What?
Can we crank some Mariah Carey on in the?
You're hired.
You're
That was a fast sale.
All right, so where were we? We were on Kiss, weren't we?
So we were talking about. I was going to say that we were talking about Ace earlier, and the funny thing is, like his backing away from the band,
Yeah.
and him like just completely getting disenfranchised with what they were doing was because they weren't making hard rock records. You know, after
Yeah,
3 or
yeah.
4 like crummy records.
Yeah, I was made for loving you. The
The Elder.
all
You know,
the
he
Elder.
hated all that stuff, and then finally. Endgame, they go and they make a hard rock record, which was very well received. It didn't chart that well, but it was definitely a return to form for that.
Somebody
guys.
told me, and or I read it somewhere, Rolling Stone, something like that, about the new guitar players coming in, and they really wanted them to kind of keep as close to Aces
Mhm.
on the classics, right?
Sure.
But then even moving forward, and they had some like real virtuosos, but they wanted very simple leads. They didn't want to, they didn't want any,
What do we always say?
You
Keep
know.
it simple, stupid.
KISS.
And that's how it works.
Yeah. And but I guess Gene and Paul were very specific about, because, they're still trying to make records when shred is happening,
Right. Yeah.
so they didn't.
The pressure to be contemporary.
They
is
did
always
not
huge.
want that guitar lead guy,
Because that was the thing. Everybody had to have a hot shot.
You had to have,
especially if you were breaking away.
it
or
was this
reestablishing
was
hit with a hot
the era of DeMartini, George Lynch,
shot. Satriani.
Reb Beach,
Yeah.
just guys that Satriani, guys that could just
I think Red Beach is actually on the was
probably
one of the guys. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I was reading all the people
Killer
that pulled
player.
in to try to do this.
killer
record.
player.
There's just
Yeah.
tons of them.
And what's this? And God, I always forget his name. God, that guy. He's still Winery Dogs. Richie Coates.
Richie Coates.
God,
And this is also.
I don't need a pick.
Yeah. Go hang out with Lindsay.
And Billy
Brown,
Sheehan's in my
nerd.
band.
Yeah,
All right.
totally.
Let's keep it moving.
And I was just going to say that that is also where however you feel about it, that's when Vinnie Vincent comes into the scene.
Vinnie Vincent Invasion. That didn't last long.
They did not.
They
last
just did
long.
one album with Vinnie, right?
Well,
Did they do
he's,
two?
I think
Oh, he's
plays
on
all
some of
over
this stuff, yeah.
I think he's on a lot of this. and
That
then-
guy was
then
an
look it
odd
up,
duck.
and
I think
that's
he
it.
was a head case.
Seemingly
I think he was a head case. Yeah, but that band. Can you imagine being in that band? Jeez, it freaked me out. Are we done? Did we run through it?
Did we do it?
All
We
right.
did
So Quinn and I were talking, and this will be fun for you guys that are watching. So we're coming up on our top lists of the year because we're going to be coming into the new year. So if you guys want to start putting your, top 5 albums, you can do tracks, top 5 tracks, because Quinn was saying you're doing a tracks list.
I'm going to
this
do
year
a tracks,
because-
but I'm doing an album list, but I'm doing a tracks list.
because some artists have those 2-3 killer tracks or maybe 1 killer track, but the rest of the album you're like not that interested in, right? So if you guys want to send some in for the when we come back in the new year, or should we do it before the end of the year? Want to do it before the end? Let's do it before the end of the year. So whatever the last episode.
Well, let's start before the end of the year, and then we can do some there, and then in January is a great time.
and then we'll do
some
honorary
records.
mentions or something. So I'm gonna do I'll probably do like top 5 records, albums of the year, because I never spend enough time to think I can go really top 10. So, and I'm lazy, so I'm probably just going to go top 5, and then Quinn will do something interesting. But to keep it interesting for you guys, if you guys want to put a list together, maybe we'll read some of them. If they
That would be
send,
great.
If they
Yeah,
send
yeah.
them in, and we'll shout you out and everything.
That would be awesome.
What do you think about that?
I think it's great. We do that with our customers every year. We ask our customers and we'll post their top 10s.
Also, guys, cactusmusic.com. Make sure you're dialed in because in-store performances are back and happening. You might meet an artist in town who's doing a signing. Word of the day is gravy. And thank you for April, our producer, for that. We just had Marcus Mumford here, who
Yeah.
signed for fans and was absolutely lovely. Maybe you saw a little bit of the interview that I got to do with him. So keep it tuned, man. I mean, it pays to be the informed music
Don't snooze.
lover.
Don't snooze.
Don't snooze.
And I hear that from people because sometimes we will do stuff on the fly.
Yeah.
Like management will say, "Hey, we have an opportunity. We have an artist come. You got like 4 days to blow
one
it
of,
up."
one of the members of Falls dropped by the other day.
Yeah.
After
And you
the-
just
Yeah.
don't know. So
keep it
pay
tuned right
attention.
here. All right, guys, we're out of here. Have a wonderful one. We'll see you next Thursday on the Drop Piece. This could go on for a while.